during Black Women's Mi Gente Black Women's Month, we asking for divorce via text message. What's in the motherfucking croissants? Bon salope, bon salope. Chris call him namuda toujours. I know you ain't 100% responsible for Love is Blind Friends, but Chris Colleen with your raggedy ass, I'm still in your munda. I will never get off your neck. Jamais.
VVS, I just turn the water on. Big old flex, shit you never saw before. These niggas chasing me like waterfalls. Keeping on my truck, look like bricks.
What's up, guys? It's your sister, Jessie Woo. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please make sure that you subscribe. So you can join the Black Women's Tribe during Black Women's Hispanic Heritage Black Women's Month. During Black Women's Mi Gente
Latino.
Black Women's Month. During Black Women's Voy a reír, voy a gozar, vivir mi vida, la 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 la. You know, I'm kind of sad that Hispanic Heritage Month is already about to be over. Like, shout out to the Hispanics, shout out to the Latinos, not you MAGA Latinos, okay? Not you I will vote por Donald, not y'all.
I will vote for Donald Trump.
Not y'all, not the Donald Trump people. Hell to the no, hell no.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Yeah, to the no.
Y'all, all the non-blacks to the back, okay? Y'all can sit y'all ass to the back, okay? But anyway, thank you so much for coming to another video. Let's get into the croissant people business. Let's jump right on it. Not out, buddy. You know, occasionally I get comments, can you please stop all that singing? The answer is no. I am a singing ass bitch. I'm not gonna what? Why are you here? Like, I'm literally singing my intro. Like, I am a singing ass bitch. I'm not gonna stop singing. I'm so sorry. Okay? So yeah, get the fuck over it. Okay, let's get into the croissant people business. Let's get into the business of the people who owe my home country a whole bunch of money. Bon saloperie, bon voila, bon colonizer. Let's go ahead and finish this strong, child. Did y'all watch Love is Friends? Love is Friends. Did y'all watch Love is Blind Friends, the reunion? This was the crustiest reunion I have ever watched. This reunion was so damn crusty because of these damn couples. But let me say this. The production for this reunion, top tier.
Are we going to celebrate love?
Are they still together?
Time to see where we stand. Let's welcome the heroes of this extraordinary experiment.
Like, production, top tier, the set, the audience, just the layout of everything, top freaking tier. I gotta give it up. You know, that's the kind of production you get when you steal money from Haiti. That's the type of production you get when you owe Haiti a whole bunch of billions. Bon salope, bon salope. Chris call him namuda toujours. I know you ain't 100% responsible for Love is Blind Friends, but Chris Colleen with your raggedy ass, I'm still in your munda. I will never get off your neck. Jamais. Babsham brick. You want that brick? You will not get it. Not here. This is not a Kit Kat. Anyways, let's get into the croissant people business. So, like I said, reunion, crusty as hell. First and foremost, let me give Teddy Reiner and his wife, Lutna, I believe. Teddy Reiner and Lutna, beautiful. Y'all looked good.
As you can see, all your loved ones and all the single people from the Pod Squad are in the audience.
Y'all looked good. The blue, chef's kiss. Lutna, tes cheveux, très belles, très jolie. I mean, chef's kiss. They looked great. And honestly, I think they did a really, really good job hosting. I feel like all the other franchises have really, really good hosts. And then America got Anyway, let's jump in. Charles and Julien, right? So remember, there were only 2 couples that got married this season. And in both couples, it was 2. When will my reflection show women's who had got married? Well, lo and behold and lo, Julien and Charles are no longer together, bitch. Hey, they are not together.
Because after a month, he asked me to move out. I need space. I need some air. Basically, he wanted us to see each other occasionally. To me, it's ridiculous when you're married.
Are we surprised? Are we surprised? Are we surprised? Were y'all surprised? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I will say, listen, if you've been watching my reviews, Julenne was a lot. She was a lot. But before we get into her a lotness, let's talk about what we found out.
I needed to clear my mind and get some space. I mentioned it to Julie, but I know that for Julie, it was like a step backwards.
So about a month in, Charles, oh ugly ass, and let me say this too, because some of y'all was coming for me when I would call this man ugly. Listen, it was mean when they called him a troll. But this man, remember, all the girlies was shocked because they was like, the way he was talking in the pods, they was expecting to see somebody really fine. I'm like, whoa, y'all looking for fine men in France? The land of no toothpaste. The land of 72-hour deodorant wearers who use 72-hour deodorant to not take a shower for 72 hours. That's the place y'all was looking for fine men's. The place that owes my people money. Please, okay? Please. Let's be for real, okay? So anyways, a month in to the marriage, Charles told this lady he needed his space.
He texted a woman 4 days after our wedding. He asked me to prove my worth after we got married, as if our marriage was actually an exam.
I ain't gonna hold you. I was shocked that it was that early. I wasn't surprised that they wasn't together, but damn, a month in? Like, you couldn't, my God, like, oh my God. Wait a minute. Like, a month? Like, what the fuck did she do? Remember, she was a salop. She didn't like to clean her dishes. She didn't like to do her laundry. She was very messy. She lounged around all day, you know, and Charles was one of them French people who actually take showers, who actually does his laundry, who actually, you know what I'm saying, brushes his teeth, even though his teeth is yellow as hell. It's giving highlighted teeth, but he was still one of those clean Frenchmen. And he was not with the whole nastiness that she came with. And I ain't gonna hold you, I was surprised because usually when will my reflection show? People are very clean people. So I didn't understand. I think being in France, she was in France too long and she adapted to the uncleanliness of the French people. It was just really disgusting. But anyway, in his mind, him asking her for space within a month was not breaking up. It was for him to regroup. Do we believe this? Do we believe this? I don't. Do y'all? I don't.
And it's true that I'm emotional. I react strongly to things. He knows me. I'm authentic. I haven't played a role. He knows all my nuances.
She didn't say, it was a breakup because you asked me to move out. Ooh. She said that she felt very neglected within that month times period. Is it times period or time period? Y'all know what I mean. And she acknowledged that she is a lot to deal with, a lot to put up with. But, you know, she was still wearing her ring at the reunion. She was still very hopeful for them to get back together even. Like, she was still hopeful that they would make this marriage work. He, on the other side, was like, yo, not only is she a lot to deal with, but she was very disrespectful. She's very harsh with me. She deals with me in a very harsh way. And to be honest, like, listening to her recounting how our relationship broke down during this reunion confirmed that I made the right decision. Woo. He then mentioned the whole thing about her saying that he asked her to leave. He was like, I didn't ask her to leave. And she's like, hold on. I got receipts. Because if I read these receipts.
She actually chose to leave one day without telling me.
Excuse me? I've got evidence. And I quote you, you haven't made arrangements. to leave as I've asked you to.
See, if I bring out these receipts clearly map out the fact that you kept asking me when was I making my arrangements to leave your home. So you actually did kick me out. And not only did he kick her out, but she kept messaging him. She would call him, and to no avail. Calls, text messages, emails, messages in a bottle, to no avail. And then the straw that broke the camel's back was him basically asking for a divorce via text message, bitch.
Actually broke up with me over text. He ended our marriage over text.
I sent a text so we could discuss it.
Hey, during Black Women's, mi gente, Black Women's Month, we asking for divorce via text message. My God, today. Isn't that what happened on the last season of Love is Blind UK? What is going on with these men overseas divorcing you via text message? What's going on? What's it? Qu'est-ce qui se passe? What's in the motherfucking croissants? What's in his croissants? He gonna talk about, no, I had sent you a text message asking you if we could talk about everything in person. Sir, you divorced her via text message. Let's be for real, okay? You divorced that lady via text message. Please stop trying to play in my motherfucking face, okay? They had a lot of back and forth. And she's like, listen, like, we've been broken up for 8 months. But again, she still comes off very hopeful to make things work. And I think Teddy was like, well, Julenne, would you want to make things work? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. Well, actually, before she could even answer Teddy, Charles was like, hell no.
What do you suggest to fix things? If you want to fix things.
Fix things?
No,
He put up.
There's no way.
You see?
we can't.
Hell no. He was like, work what out? This is not Beyonce, work it out. He don't want to work it out. He don't want to work it out. He said, this is not a Beyonce video. Absolutely not. I will not be working shit out. Okay, the only thing I'll be working out will be my legs and my arms in the gym. Well, actually, judging by the way he look, I don't think he be in the gym like that. But y'all get what I'm saying. But yeah, he was basically like, listen to the way she talks to me. I mean, I just could not deal with that. And to be honest, I mean, again, watching the season, she became very insufferable, especially like towards the end. I think that she was always using her fear of abandonment as a manipulation tactic. And it just, it kind of became gross. Like even in that scene where they were talking about how they need to share the at-home duties. Hey, you clean this, I clean that. If you cook today, I, cook the, like, and everything was, so if I don't cook, you gonna abandon me? If I don't do the laundry, you gonna abandon me? If I sneeze, you gonna abandon me? Like, it just was a lot. I thought she was just she used that to be very much manipulative. She cried a lot. She would yell. And I think that he did his best to neutralize the situations that they were in. But also, I feel like, why didn't he just say no at the altar? Like, there's nobody holding the doo-doo-doo to your head, making you say yes. Say no. It is okay to say no. It is literally okay to say no. And I feel that he was very much a bitch for not saying no at the altar and wasting that lady's time.
You stop trying to be a damn bitch.
Like, she showed you who she was. You accepted it. And then you said yes, only to break up with her a month later. Like, is Chris Colleen giving y'all a bonus? Like, do y'all get a bonus in y'all's check if y'all say yes at the altar? Maybe that's something I need to investigate. Because why say yes? Anyway, let's move on to Kim and Tomas. There were really no real new revelations here. In my opinion, I kind of felt like their segment was a waste of time because they never really addressed the way that this lady would talk to this man. First and foremost, they kept calling them Victoria and David Beckham.
Now let's move on to our celebrity couple, David and Victoria Beckham. No, sorry, Kim and Thomas. How's it going?
You always get them mixed up.
Yeah, I know, sorry.
Bah, comprendre. Je ne comprends pas. Je ne comprends pas. You know what I'm saying? My sisters are, when will my reflection show? Is Victoria a where will my reflection show? Is she a when will my reflection show? I'm so lost. They're definitely not giving the Beckhams at all. But anyway, while watching the season, she was very, very mean to him, and they never really addressed that. They do acknowledge what they were saying during the season was that, they're very, very different people from two different worlds, but still, I just feel like, there were a lot of instances where she belittled him and she was very condescending to him, and they never really addressed that.
It's gonna be good.
You made a sandwich. That's so cute.
They did address the fact that she has been getting dragged online. And rightfully so. She was mean as fuck.
Yes, people criticize Thomas and me. More me than Thomas.
Makes sense. I'm amazing.
This girl was very, very mean. Do y'all remember the couples meetup where she was so upset that he wouldn't support her bullying Charles and Julien? Like, social media dragged her, and rightfully so. Now, I will never understand people going into people's comments. I've never done that. Like, you're not going to find me in somebody's comments unless they are an abuser. You're not going to find me in their comments. I still just don't get that. But anyway, it seemed as if she didn't really give a fuck.
I'm arrogant, so it's fair. At some point, I guess I deserve to get a few punches back, but I don't know.
She doesn't really care, and she moved on from that. Now, there was a moment where they talked about her actually seeing Clément.
Clément is a very interesting person. He's definitely super smart. I don't think he's ready to build something with someone.
So we all know, I mean, if you watched the show, you knew that Clément was more her speed, especially when they met each other outside of the pods at the pod link up, which was another thing I feel like they didn't address. Like, the way her and Clément were talking to each other, it was giving a lot of flirty vibes, a lot of flirtatious vibes, a lot of let me bring you home vibes. But anyway, apparently I believe they talked to each other for a little bit and also went on a date post the show. But come to find out, lo and behold and lo, Clément has been getting a whole bunch of DMs post the show.
And thanks to the show, I have a lot of DMs. So maybe
One is a happy man.
He's so happy about it. It's a nice little ego boost for him.
But I'm Clément.
So he's like, girl, I mean, I might have could have said yes to you, you know what I'm saying, a month ago, like during the process. I might have could have said yes to you, a year ago, but now that the television show has been televised, all these bitches in my DM, you want me to focus just on you? Hell to the fuck no. Mind you, I'm French. Okay? Remember, French men are dangerously horny. French people, period. French men are dangerously horny. Do you remember how him and Julien were talking to each other when they were in the pods? The way he was breathing hard, thinking about her, what kind of pants she had, and is the zipper in the front or is the zipper in the side? Like, just dangerously horny. So now he spends his days, entertaining other dangerously horny French women. Okay? His follower count don't went up on Instagram. He don't give a fuck about her ass. He's in the streets now. He's in the fucking streets. And come to find out, both Thomas and Julien are both still single. And I think the same thing goes for Charles and Julien too. They're both single. I'm sorry. Both Thomas and Kim are single. All right, moving on. So the third couple we get to talk to now is Yanik and Tatiana. Bitch, I couldn't wait for this one. Also, shout out to the members. If you're a member, you are currently watching Yanik's interview. So shout out to y'all. I hope that you guys are enjoying it. Yeah, we get to talk to this couple, and the hosts were saying how they didn't understand why they parted ways, and I didn't understand why they didn't understand why they parted ways. Did y'all not see the episode where Tatiana sicked her mother on Yanik like she was a fucking hound dog? Like, did y'all not see that shit? Like, I wouldn't make it either. It was clear she wanted nothing to do with that man after that. He still wanted to make it work, which was very puzzling to me. But in our interview, he does talk about that. So shout out to him for being very, very revealing and very much open with his feelings. So Tatiana says that what made things not work for her was that she was living multiple lives and that he was not helping her with her lives at all. Like she's an entrepreneur, she's a mom, and also she was living this life with Yanik, and she felt like he was just not any assistance to her. And I don't know, that just sounds very, very different from what we saw on the show.
In our relationship, I felt like I was living 3 lives. I was living my life as an entrepreneur, I was living my life as a mom, and I was living my life with Yanik.
What we saw on the show was that this woman was very, very controlling. Okay, very, very emotionally manipulative. She cried a lot. She screamed a lot. She threw a lot of tantrums. She tried to get this man to sign a prenup without giving him a chance to even look at the prenup. She was mad that this man had his own standards that he wanted to bring to the prenup. Like, it just was weird. It's like, girl, no, it's not about that you were living multiple lives. It's that you was looking for a man that you could run over. You was looking for a dummy that you could run over and be like, I'm fine, I'm sexy, I'm cute. You should just do what I tell you to do, while also doing the whole, I'm 39, I'm a mom, nobody wants me, like, she was playing a lot of manipulative games, and I feel like during the reunion, she just doesn't own up to that.
When you care about someone and you see that person struggling a little bit, I think it's obvious. I didn't feel understood.
But later on, she does take accountability and says that, you know, the breakdown of their relationship was definitely her fault because she never does ask for help. And I'm happy she at least admitted to that. But I feel like, again, it's more than that. I'm not saying that Yanik's perfect, but I just feel from what we saw on the show, this man was very, very willing to make their relationship work. She, on the other hand, had so many constraints, so many rules, you know, and it just was hard to watch. Yanik's tone and view on how their relationship should have gone is totally different. He talks about the fact that, you know, he didn't really understand that she didn't have flexibilities. Like, there were things she wasn't flexible on until Morocco. But even when they got to Paris, it was so hard, but he was still willing to compromise, make things work, listen to her, you know, try to figure out a middle ground. And again, when you watch the show, that's how he was on the show. Her, on the other hand, she didn't give that energy at all. He said that, you know, while they were together, that he did his very best to listen to her, to address her needs. And as he's explaining that, what does she do? She cuts him off.
I did my best to listen to your every need, because when you talk, it's super intense, and the next day you've already forgotten. When did you take action?
Which was something that she would do a lot during the actual show, during the actual experience. Whenever this man would present his thought process, she never wanted to hear it, especially if it didn't coincide with what she wanted. Right? Going back to the whole conversation about money, her whole thing was, well, you need to pay for everything because you're African. And he's like, wait a minute now. Now, here are my standards. She didn't want to hear that. She doesn't want to hear that. It's her way or the highway. And that's why their relationship didn't work. And I just, for me, looking at Tatiana, she's a very beautiful girl. Very beautiful girl. You're still young. I don't know why she was in the pods acting like 39 is she about to die or something. You're still young. Yes, you're a mother, but you're still young. You're very successful. I don't wonder why she's single. You're single because of your attitude. Like, you just have an unbearable attitude.
Okay.
I'm not going to let you finish because there was a lot of theory with you, Yanik. And at some point, I need action.
You're not flexible. You don't listen. It's your way or the highway. And I'm going to tell you, that's a very hard position to be in when you're the one looking for someone to marry you. You're the one looking for marriage. You're the one looking for marriage. You know, then she goes on and talks about her character, how intense she is, how loud she is, how angry she gets.
I'm intense. I'm passionate. I cry a lot. I can be angry too. And that's not being aggressive.
How extra she is, how passionate she is, how super emotional she is. And she's like, I just got to find somebody that is going to like it. And you know what? Rightfully so. Good luck to you. Good fucking luck to you, sister. Because during Black Women's Mi Gente, Black Women's Month, it doesn't look like you've had a lot of good luck in that area. It doesn't look like the cards have been in your favor. And then you go on the show and you make no edits to your approach. So what was the point of you coming on the show? They also had this like short argument about how there was one time during their experiment where he asked for some time, like just for one day where he could go home because he just needed a break. They had been fighting all the time. And for her, she felt like that was him telling her, oh, he's okay with them living separately, you know, in their marriage. And that's just not it. Like you can see he's trying to communicate. She's interrupting him.
We had a fight almost every day. And I told you, you know what, Tatiana? I need some air. I'm going to sleep at home.
Yes,
Your
we
answer?
got that.
Let
It's
me
pretty
finish,
clear that for
please.
you.
It's just not going nowhere. And I'm really happy that I'm happy that this went nowhere because Tatiana, respectfully, I don't think you're ready for marriage. I just don't. I think that you need therapy. You need therapy. You have anger issues. You're very frustrated. You have trust issues as well. And that's something that you need to address with your therapist, not with a man that you're trying to marry within 4 weeks. Absolutely not. Then they talked to Tatiana's mom. And honestly, Tatiana's mom hasn't learned anything either. They're both like, I just feel like they're both just two very stubborn folks. You know, like I could tell she saw herself on television and saw nothing wrong with the way she spoke to Yanik. And that just was very just disgusting for me to watch. And it's even more disgusting for me to hear her talk as if it was not disgusting. You know, like she said that she didn't understand why Yanik had his reservations about Tatiana's temperament.
What do you mean? Why are you saying now that she's bad-tempered? Who's never rude? Who never gets mad?
Like in her mind, it's like, so who's never mean? Who's never disrespectful? It's like, girl, that's not something that anybody should tolerate. If the shoe was on the other foot and a man was being disrespectful to your daughter, you would not tolerate that. You would eat that man alive. So why do you expect that man to tolerate that from your daughter? Make it make sense. She then tried to twist Yanik's words and make it seem like Yanik was looking at Tatiana's son as like, basically like extra shit that he was having to take on. And that just wasn't the case.
You say that you took my daughter with baggage. The baggage is her son.
I just want to correct the term baggage. I'm not including the child in that.
Just the back and forth between him and her mom, it was whack to me on the mother's part. She learned nothing.
That's what you said.
Let's be clear. I allowed myself to use the term baggage because that's the word Tatiana had used. In my opinion, a child is love.
Good luck to you and your daughter finding a husband, because between you and your daughter, I don't see any man wanting to deal with this type of behavior. At least not no good-tempered man who wants to come in and take care of Tatiana. Absolutely not. And then again, I'm going to stick to my guns and say the only reason why I feel that she felt she could talk to Yanik like that was for two reasons. Because he's dark-skinned and because they thought that Yanik was dead-ass broke. But come to find out, lo and behold and lo, during Black Women's Mi Gente Black Women's Month, Yanik got the coin. Yanik got the coin. So it was either they thought he was broke, or I think her mom thought Yanik was a sucker. Just the same way your daughter was going on the show desperate to find a husband, they probably thought that he was desperate too and was going to take anything that he got. And I'm here to tell you that was not the case. Moving along. They had Gallian come on stage and I really didn't understand it, because why the fuck is he here?
I'm good. I'm great. When the show came out, it was kind of brutal. I'm not going to lie. I've been navigating troubled waters since, but...
Yeah. Back on one. Why the fuck is he here? The man literally was in the experiment for 2 minutes. Okay. He was caught inviting women into his hotel room. So I'm not understanding why we have him on the couch. Like, what are we talking about?
So there were some people at dinner at the restaurant who weren't part of the show and who tried to get in touch with us. I let them get in touch with us.
Like, he elaborated more on who the women's was that was coming in his room, but I just really just don't understand. I don't get it.
Excuse me, Gallian, with you all or just you? Let's be clear.
I let them all get in touch with me.
Also, something else that I didn't understand, but I'm not surprised. Him and Tatiana have been in communication since the show. She a bird.
I only attract guys who don't want to commit. It's crazy, but I don't blame him. We had a good laugh.
It's giving bird like they're like. Remember when he left the experience? She's like, "Oh, I mean, we could still make it work." How? The man was supposed to be looking for a wife, yet he was inviting women to come into his hotel room to pay patty cake with his dick. Like, what are we making work here, sister? Are you okay? Then they bring Sarah bubble lip ass onto the motherfucking couch, and I kind of didn't see the point of this either.
Well, I might have a few regrets. Yes, when I see all this, one or two. But it wasn't mean.
She never apologized for the way that she talked about Julien, and she never apologized to Charles for the way that she talked about him as well. There was a moment where it was her and Kim and I think Sabrina who chimed in on, saying how it was wrong for them like to call him a troll or whatever, even though he do look like one. But still, like, saying that it was wrong for the way that they talked about him.
But I do think I could have had more tact, and I'm sorry. But I've never questioned the fact that you chose Julie.
But yeah, I just didn't really get why she was there. Like, to not have her, apologize to Julien for the way she talked about, like, she basically called that woman a whore. Like, made it seem like Julien was trying to sell pussy in the pods. Like, and that just was never addressed. And I just didn't understand why. Like, it was very disgusting to have her there and not have her apologize to Julien for that. I thought that was very whack. Then we have Cynthia and Jonathan. And, I wasn't a fan of Cynthia. I thought that Cynthia was very, very violent in her words. And it's crazy because at first I thought he was the bad person. He was the bad guy. And I still feel like he was. I still feel like he was insecure about his height because he did make a big scene out of her wanting to wear heels. Like, that her behavior doesn't take away from his behavior for me, but her behavior over time, as you're watching the show, it just became extremely, extremely problematic. And then remember, like, post them leaving the Morocco, she tried to win him back with the dress where she had her titties out. It just was so weird. It was so weird. Mind you, a couple days before, you were calling that man all types of punk ass bitches and loser. And so why are you trying to win this man back? So then come to find out, lo and behold and lo, for the last year, this girl was still trying to win this man back.
I was the one who made the effort, obviously. I realized that I felt like I was forcing love.
Are you okay? What is in the croissants? What is in the croissants? Why were you trying to win this man back? Any man who brings out the type of behavior that I saw you put forth, Cynthia, that is not a man that you should be trying to win back. That is not a man that you should be trying to win back. Ever. Like, what are you doing? And then she said, over time, she just felt like she was the one trying to force them to have a relationship. And she just came to realize that, she was just forcing love. Girl, what? What is going on? So moving on to him, he mapped out exactly what I expected him to map out, which was the fact that he felt extremely disrespected by her. And we did see this. He wasn't perfect, but she was extremely disrespectful. I mean, remember, the lady was mad that this man would be humming. Like, this man would be in a good mood humming during dinner. Like, she was insufferable.
The gap between us was too deep, in my opinion. And unfortunately, I couldn't get past it. And I think that it was best for both of us.
Apparently, she did reach out and, at first he did agree to meet up with her. But then he came to his senses and he realized, hell no, to the no. I ain't got no business meeting up with this lady. And I think that they even got into an argument. And yeah, that was it for him. So they had a bit of a back and forth. I don't really give a fuck because I'm looking at Cynthia like, girl, I need you to go to therapy too. You need therapy. Okay? You're very clingy. You're very jealous. Remember how she would ask everybody, are you still in contact with your ex? How often you speak to your ex? Do you have female friends? It just was too much. You need love is therapy. They need to put you in the pods with 3 different therapists and you pick the one that's for you. Put a ring on the therapist and move on with your motherfucking life. You don't need to be looking for no damn husband. Okay? Now come to find out, lo and behold, Jonathan and Cindy are together.
Yes, come sit.
We want to know everything. Where, when, how?
Apparently, Cindy was another girl that was part of the experiment that we never really saw. Also, they had a very, very fire connection. We never saw their time in the pods. It looks as if their connection carried on pretty far into the experiment. But of course, we know that he ended up with Cynthia.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Do you take it slow or you're like a womanizer, always in a flirty mood?
I'm the antithesis of that. I'm almost sapiosexual, if you will.
But child, him and Miss Thing been together for like 10 months. They're looking into moving in together. Child, did you see when she went on stage how they was cracking up and carrying on? You could see the love in their eyes, child. They together for real. They belong together. And it looks like he is going to be, like I said, I think they're going to be moving in together, and he's looking to make things official with her as far as marriage, maybe.
I'm hopeful that I'll start a family with this woman, for sure.
But good luck to him. Good luck to him. I'm happy that he found something. Cynthia, go find a therapist. Period. Then we get to Chloe and Alexandre, and lo and behold, your parents, they are not together.
Unfortunately, we're still married, but we're separated. I very quickly fell in love with Alexander. Alexander was hesitant. I'm not going to twist the knife.
I want it better for my when will my reflection show, sister, but I feel vindicated. I feel very vindicated. Watching this season, it was very clear this man did not want her at all. At all. In Morocco, he was not feeling you, not touching you, not hugging you, not on you, not really trying to, spend quality and intimate time with you like that. You had to call it out. Then you get to the apartments. This man didn't make no type of effort to have you introduced to his family, his friends. He actually was annoyed that you introduced him to your family and your friends. Okay? He made no plan. He left you for a couple days. He kept saying over and over in his confessionals that he did not love you. Hey, I don't love her. I know both get married, but I don't have no feelings that's leading to marriage. I don't have no feelings that's leading to mariage. I'm so sorry. M'pas marié. Non, m'pas marié avec. Oh. I was so saisy when I saw this motherfucker marry this lady. Saisy. I was so saisy. That means surprise. Surprise, surprise. Moi saisy, là, moi, monsieur marié fia. Parce que depuis le début, monsieur a pas intéressé. So now we are at the reunion and the motherfucker saying that they're not together. That they're separate. Are y'all surprised? Are y'all surprised? Surprise. She talked about the fact that when you watch the show, you could tell that she was very much in love with him, but he was very hesitant.
I was expecting to develop even more feelings for you, and I didn't.
And all I could think of is, so when that man at the wedding said that as he was watching her give her vows, he realized he was in love with her. He lied. Hey, Limati, he lied. He's a liar. He's a liar. He's a menteur. He's a menteur. A liar. A liar. A liar. Why would he lie like that? Chris Colleen with your raggedy ass, are you giving these men a bonus to say yes at the altar when they don't want to marry these women's? During Black Women's Mi Gente Black Women's Month? Are you giving them a bonus? I will never get my foot off your neck. Jamais. Never. Jamais. M'apprêterai n'amoura. Because to see that none of these men who said yes at the altar is still married. Well, I mean, they married technically, but they separated. These men said yes for what? For what? And then it's a whole bunch of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I don't even give a fuck to hear it because, girl, you are a whole therapist. I think she's a therapist, right? Chloe, you are either she's a therapist or a psychiatrist. One of those things.
I'm not an expert in psychology. I'm only a physical
that.
therapist.
Yeah, it's true that you were very attentive.
Not me being wrong. Girl, you could see that man didn't want you. And you kept forcing it. Remember, she was the one who was singing, "Some people want the wall."
Some just wanted everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you.
You was begging for that man to give you a ring from the beginning. That man never wanted you. Never wanted you. Never wanted you. Okay, let's move on. All right, lastly, we see Van Me and Sabrina. You know, Van Me going... One thing about Van Me, he going... You know what the thing is? Van Me, as I'm looking at Vanny, this is a type of Asian that Casey from Love is Blind Denver wanted. When what's her name was Patrick said he was Cambodian and Chinese, she thought it was giving Van Me. This is the type of Asian she wanted. She thought it was giving Van Me, which, by the way, Patrick to me is very handsome. I always said that. I think he's a very handsome man. I just think she's a vile human being. She's disgusting. But she thought it was giving Van Me. I've really come to realize that white folks, when they're looking at Asians, they want like almost like white passing Asians. That's what they're looking for. It's very just racist. It's racism. And a lot of y'all say, oh, that's not her preference. That doesn't make her racist. So why is it not her preference? Exactly. All right. Van Me was giving this nice little speech about, you know, le moment où on était devant le meilleur.
Actually, that's the moment when I felt like I was waking up. And then at that moment, I had doubts.
Man, you knew you was gonna say no to that lady from the time she cussed your ass out in front of everybody down to that damn barbecue they was having to Alexandra's home, to Chloe's home, okay? When that girl was cussing your ass out, talking about, oh, I see the way you look at Kim because she got olive skin. You knew you was gonna say no to that. Van Me, s'il vous plaît. S'il te plaît. S'il vous plaît. Okay? You ain't got a lot of me, baby. You can lie to the French. You ain't got a lot of me, okay? But you know, Van Me, he's a when will my reflection show? You know, them people, they're gonna be nice. They're gonna be respectful. Okay? He's trying to save face. But baby, we knew you wasn't gonna say yes to that lady. That lady's crazy. She's a fucking psycho. Okay? She was extremely possessive. Your own sister called her a psycho. Your sister said she was psychotic. Okay? So we knew you was going to say no. You know, and they went back and forth. Now, I don't give a fuck. I'm happy none of these couples married. I'm happy none of these couples are together. None of them belong together. This was a crusty ass reunion. Cause why did y'all go on the show? Why was y'all on this show? None of y'all belong on the show. None of y'all. Everybody needs to be in therapy except Van Me. Literally. Vammy's the only, who else? Vammy and who else? That's it. Everybody else was very unwell. Tomas, very like irregular with your emotions. You need your emotions regulated. Kim, you're a bitch. Sabrina, you're a bigger bitch. God. Julien, therapy. Charles, you a liar. Okay? You are a motherfucking liar. Cynthia, you might need a white jacket. You might just... Tatiana, you might need a white jacket too. I ain't gonna hold you. And take your mama with you. Who else? Oh, Yanik. No, I think Yanik and Vammy, good. Everybody else, therapy. Everybody else, therapy. All right, drop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this crusty ass reunion, and stay tuned for Yanik's interview coming to you guys soon. I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care of yourselves.
VVS, I just turned the water on. Big old flex, shit you never saw before. These niggas chasing me like waterfalls. Keeping on my truck, look like bricks.